Hello everyone and welcome back. I've got the SeeAll Sight mounted to my go-to rifle. This is a kind of a red dot wannabe knockoff, if you will. It mounts to the rail, and it uses a little magnifying glass in the back here and a little chevron at the front. Let me see if I can zoom in for you so you can see that. See a little triangle right there? And so this is the glowing part of it, and when you line it up back here, you're supposed to shoot like that. So you put your chevron, the tip of that chevron, on your target, and that's what you get. It's kind of like a red dot, as I mentioned. You can shoot with one eye or two eyes open. It's kind of cool. I like the concept and the fact that there's no batteries on it. Here's your right adjustments and your up and down. I could really never get this to 0 for me. And before you say, well, you got a cheesy little sight here, or a mounting system. Well, I've tried a couple of others and was not successful as well. Originally I had it on a short-barreled rifle, probably about 7.5 inches, and I was not consistently being able to hit at 100 yards with it, which I typically can with that gun with a red dot on it, but I could not with this. And the problem I found was it's just tough for me to line everything up in there to see that little chevron, and it was just not successful for me. I had to move up to 25 yards in order to hit the target consistently, and I'm just not that impressed with it. I mean, I hate to knock something, but I've been running with this for over a year now. So this is a buddy of mine picked it up at SHOT Show. I couldn't make it to SHOT Show, and he stumbled across these guys, and he picked it up for me. He goes, man, you really ought to try this. It seems like a pretty cool concept. It's $100 retail, at least that's what I paid for it at the time. But the red dots, you can get red dots for less than that. The Bushnell makes a real nice one. But anyways, I'm not fully convinced with this, and here's why. Have you ever heard of something called sight radius? Sight radius is the distance between the rear and the front sight. So if we pop up our rear sight on our rifle here, you've got this much distance. So when you're shooting, this distance here, when you move your front left or right, you get a margin of error, so to speak. With a rifle, the further apart those sights are, the less the margin of error is. With a handgun, here's the P38. With a handgun, the margin of error is really bad. So a little bit of movement here at the barrel goes a long way in not hitting where you're aiming at. So to me, I see this as a sight radius. This is your focal point. This is your little thing, your little aiming point. So it kind of seems a similar fashion, except you've gone from a rifle down to less than a pistol as far as sight radius. However, that theory kind of doesn't hold, because looking at the rear of this and moving your head left to right, the chevron really kind of stays on target just about as much as a red dot does. So as you move left to right, this is not going to do justice here in this video we're looking at, but as you move your head from left to right, that chevron for the most part stays on target, as much as it does for a red dot, for example. However, where this one fails, in my opinion, compared to a red dot, is if you move your head up or down. If you move your head up or down, you lose the chevron altogether. Now, if you've shot red dots, depending on the position of your head, how you're doing, if you're running and shooting, the dot may not be perfectly centered within the circle of the scope. It may be up here a little bit, like an EOTech or something. Any of those type of red dots, wherever that red dot is where the bullet's going to hit. Well, with this, if you raise your head with a red dot, your dot may be here at the top or down at the bottom. You're still going to hit the target. If you raise your head just a little bit on this, all of a sudden the sight just disappears, so you're not going to be able to hit the target. Now, like I said, I thought it was just the little rifle, my little 7.5 inch rifle, 8.5, whatever it is. So I took this off, put it on here, still had issues hitting at 100 yards, and I go back to the red dot on Old Reliable here, and I can wail on the target all day long. So it's an interesting concept. However, I'm not sold on it. It's kind of goofy looking. It's got sharp edges. I mean, you're going to catch this on your clothes, I suspect, if you're carrying it. It is smaller than a red dot, obviously, but if you get one of the Bushnell TR25s, I believe it is, it's cheaper than this thing, and it's a little bit more compact in a way, I guess. It has less sharp edges on it. But like I said, I'm just not completely sold on this. I can't say good or bad. I say if you get one for cheap, give it a try if you want. But for me, not going to use it. In fact, I'm probably going to sell it. I'll put a link to the video description below to where I'm probably going to start selling off some of my YouTube stuff, if you will, stuff you've seen in the videos, good or bad. I'm going to say if I don't like it or not, or if it's something's wrong with it, it'll be mentioned in there. But anyways, SeeAll front sight, I don't think it's all that. Well, thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video.